A lesbian trying to date someone not into women. 125,000 big bucks. Cars going from one place to another. Call that cargo. Fake apologies, crocodile tears, and a victim who is saying very mean things about someone else. Because that never happens on this show. All the victims are very nice individuals. You join me on this fine, frosty morning. I was on my adventures. I've wandered into the cave of delusion. And my, the victim we've got here today screams of delusion. It smells, so you're gonna need to strap yourselves in, okay? Get your fine straps like this. Put that in there. Oh, does it feel nice? Ah. Little bit of aggression never hurt anyone. If you're listening out of context, that sounds very dirty. But you're going to feel dirty after watching this with me. So just prepare yourselves. I feel dirty. I need a shower. That might be unrelated to this episode, but yeah. I'm on my adventures. It gets stinky. So hold your nose because this victim is actually quite stinky. Her attitude and stuff. Get ready. Oh, and also, just because it's very important that I let you know at the start of the video, there are many traps in this cave. And it seems I triggered one of the traps because at certain points when I am speaking, the microphone or the recording software, I ain't got a Scooby, decides to cut out and clip. It's nothing crazy. You can understand what I'm saying and it's nothing too drastic. But certain letters and words get clipped whilst I'm speaking. I don't know what happened. I blame the spirit within these caves. It's the spirit of the scammers. You can hear that? They're asking for gold bars. So I wanted to let you know. And also, I didn't want to re-record this because reactions, especially these ones, and all of them, I give my heart and soul. And if I re-record it, it's not real anymore. So I don't want to do that. Hopefully you can understand. And in my opinion, it's nothing too crazy. But just to let you know that there are certain points when I'm speaking, it goes quiet, it clips, etc. So I blame Carla.
This woman wants to know the truth about her internet girlfriend.
Hold on a second. Shine the light back on Carla, please. Many dogs there. Who let the dogs out? Woof, woof, woof. This is not really related, but it's catfish related. Recently, we covered the show of Catfish UK, and the catfish was named Carla. So,
Didn't ask.
interesting how the tables have turned. I almost said Klarna there, by the way. If you know of Klarna, any scammers offering Klarna payments for their swindling? I mean, girl, that's a good deal, huh?
Internet girlfriend.
She approached me on Facebook and wanted to be
Why
friends.
is the camera shaking?
Carla lost her life savings to a woman going by the name of Cheryl.
And then she said she had some cargo in Germany.
Do you get it? The car is going to a different country, just like her brain. Your life savings to a stranger. Baby, what's going on here?
She needed some extra money. Well, I can give you 9, but that's about it. Well, it just kept going up until it ended up being $124,000.
My lord.
She sent over $100,000 trying to meet this person.
That is not what anyone should be doing, because meeting is free. Even if you do live continents apart, it doesn't cost upwards of 100K. Don't know whose bubble I'm bursting by saying that, but get a grip of yourself. I'll help you out. Here's 9K. If that's the kind of help that Carla is dishing out, I need help. Help me, please. I mean, I don't really need help, but if it's being offered, do you know what I mean?
Carla has done her own research and she's blaming the actual woman in these images for creating all of these fake profiles.
What?
I do think Cheryl is behind this. It just infuriates me how somebody could do this. I want to confront her. I want to know why you did this to me. And I want my money back because I know she's got money.
Hell,
Our team will track down this woman
That ain't
and
coming
put her
back.
face to face with Carla for the first time.
The harassing and the stalking and all of that has to stop.
Oh,
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Go do
Your
that.
engagement with our videos help us reach new audiences and can potentially stop other people from being scammed.
but you already are. So we've got first of all, I think it's interesting that seemingly the actual person behind the pictures has come on the show. I feel like it's been a minute, huh? It's been a hot minute. I'm sweating, baby. It's been a while since that's been a thing. I'm very interested why that's happened here. Maybe because Carla does seem to be blaming the actual person in the pictures. So they thought, okay, let's actually get the person behind the pictures. But I don't think that's a good idea. If it helps, we'll never really know unless you do it, of course. But I've never been a fan of the victim meeting the real person behind the pictures. Because as you can see, there's some stalking involved. That should be fun.
Okay, David, we have another case.
Where is
It's a
Drew?
woman by the name of Carla, and I'll read her email. Hi, Catfish team. I'm begging you for help.
Begging?
Cheryl says she loves me, but has asked for $110,000, claiming she needed
Hey,
it.
maybe I'm reaching here, right? But I'll go backwards a little bit. David doesn't look bothered. I feel like I couldn't let that just slide and we keep on going. He looks like he needs a break or something. Take a rest, man. And where's Drew? Someone please let me know.
Claiming she needed it to transport her cars and
does that
come
even
be
mean?
with me in person. She has lied to me and even mocked me publicly.
Huh?
She opened bank accounts in my name and tried to get into my retirement fund. I desperately need to know if she is real. Sincerely, Carla.
Playing devil's advocate. When you say she's tried to get into your retirement fund, you willingly sending her all this money, you know, is it that bad that she's tried to get into your retirement fund? Because you're doing it anyway. You're giving it to her. So,
Hi, team. I am Carla.
Hello.
I'm 69 years old, and I live in Eastern Oregon.
69.
I retired in 2021. I was a nurse for 28 years, and then I bought a dog boarding and daycare. I like gardening big time. I have dogs, which is my love. I take my Golden swimming, and we go and play ball.
Nice.
I have 5. I have 2 Goldens. My little dogs are all getting 15, 16 years old.
Damn!
So we won't have them for long either, I'm sure. I have not been married. I've had 2 partners. They both have passed. She passed away in 2009.
Rest in peace.
She had kidney failure and was a brittle diabetic and developed some different problems that I'd never heard of being a nurse. But yeah, that was the end of that. We were together and doing the dog daycare and stuff because she'd had a lot of experience with dogs too. So yeah, that was a shocker.
After years of mourning the loss of her partner, retiring, and living alone for years, this is when Carla decided to turn to the internet to try to meet someone online.
And I live in such a small place, there's not much of a social life for LGBTQ. My friend suggested for me to look on Facebook for some groups and stuff, so I did that, and then I kind of got hooked on TikTok. I've met some nice people, and she approached me on Facebook and wanted to be friends.
Can I just point out that it's a little bit of a pet peeve of mine that, and look, of course I might be reaching, right? I'm a very cynical individual. But people who do not push, not drag by the ear and chuck you into the nether realms of the internet, yeah? Almost threw out my shoulder doing that. I'm very unfit, but you didn't ask. People who do push others to maybe go online, dating websites, etc. If you're gonna do that, please educate them that scams exist. You know what I mean? I don't know if Carla at this moment knows that scams exist or not, but just let them know, be wary, be cautious. Or granted, these are adults, so is it necessarily thing? That's not English. But is it a thing that you're really thinking of? Yeah, I'm going to tell this person go on Facebook, for example, but I must warn them of the dangers. Maybe it's not something that crosses your mind initially, but I would hope people going forward that's what you do. Consider letting them know of the dangers, please.
She said it was because of the music I posted on my Facebook, and I'm like, oh, okay.
These messages are what started it all. Carla and Cheryl chatted every day. At this point, Carla was happy to have just met someone who was so kind and interested in her.
Age gap?
They opened up to each other and began to make plans to meet in person.
Sorry, let's go on a what? Let's go on a cruisy. I mean, damn. What's the entertainment business got cooking up, huh? Cruise? No? Have a cruisy, mate. Oh, it sounds like a wild time. I'd go. Would you go? Let me know in the comments if you're down for a cruisy. I'm cruising for a cruisy. Haha.
This is great banter.
Okay, in my head right now, we've just played a meme. Editing H has added a meme. And before we get back, my shoulder actually... I've hurt myself doing this. I told you guys, these videos always hurt me. One way or another, I'll get hurt, man.
This is when things took a turn.
The cruisy.
She was supposed to go on the cruise with me, and her excuse for that is that I wouldn't give her money for the flight. And I said, well, you're in Arkansas. Florida's not that far.
I don't know.
Put $200 to $300 and stuff. Well, I think the reason she didn't want to go on and it was the Olivia cruise. It was all women, and she's not a lesbian. So I think that's why she didn't come.
What?
Mr. Krabs, I am so confused.
And then she said she had some cargo in Germany, cars that she wanted to bring over. She'd been doing this for some time and she needed some extra money. And I'm like, well, I can give you 9, but that's about it. Well, it just kept going up until it ended up being $124,000. Mostly it was, if I remember right.
Listen, you can remember all you want. I have a question to ask. At what point do any of the victims who spend this amount of money, right? At what point are we stopping? Like, I've got to ask at what point. Because when you're nearing 100K, is something not going off in the brain? I really don't understand. Really confused here if Carla has any romantic feelings for Cheryl or not. But, this might be a niche reference. Who remembers Cheryl Cole? You gotta fight, 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 fight for this love. If it's worth having, it's worth fighting for. No, actually, when you're spending large sums of money, maybe the love is not worth fighting for. So I ask the question, where are we drawing the line? Can we become ostriches? Get our heads in the sand, please. Get a grip.
Kept them all were Apple cards, and mostly.
Things went downhill fast.
Mostly.
Carla was back and forth to the store buying as many gift cards as she could possibly get her hands on. She was willing to do anything to help Cheryl get her cars imported from Germany to the US.
Why?
But it seemed every time she paid one fee, another fee popped up. Before she knew it, she had dished out just shy of $125,000. And after sending all of that money, Carla noticed a huge change in Cheryl's personality.
Yeah, because look, she's become like bubble wrap, kind of. There's bigger things to be worried about than her personality. I ask the question, why does she have so many cars? If she has so many cars, how do you have no money? Because that must cost a lot, right? So, maybe you could argue she's broke because she's looking after all these cars and stuff. You look after cars, right? I've sort of personified them, but, You look after cars. I then ask, sell one of the cars, right? If they are costing you a lot of money, have some financial responsibility about yourself and sell one of the cars. But maybe that's asking too much from the scammers to create a reasonable story. But if it works, doesn't it?
Because she's very pretty on the outside, but she became very ugly on the inside. Nothing like I envisioned for a person who calls herself a Christian. That, to me, is not a Christian.
Right.
When she's got her makeup and everything on, she's very pretty.
Oh, that's...
Very, very pretty. But when she doesn't have her makeup on, I mean, that doesn't bother me. But it bothered me that she only sends me the plain pictures and she'd post all the nice pictures on her website.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you there. Because, you took me on a wild ride there. Forget the cruisy. This is the wild ride. I was gonna maybe cut you some slack. She looks really pretty with her makeup on. Okay, that's not that bad, on the surface. Nothing maybe too deep we need to analyze there. Someone can look pretty with makeup on, correct. But then it seems like you are not a fan of her without the makeup. She's very pretty with the makeup on. But I do like without makeup. But when you say but, more often than not, it just defeats everything you've said before that. So you sound, I don't want to say greedy, but I don't know if that's the right word to use. But you sound like you are not a fan of the pictures without the makeup. You don't find her attractive without makeup. That's what I'm inferring. Okay, I don't want to put words in people's mouths, especially not people who are gonna go on cruises because they're clearly better than me. I just that's the vibe I'm getting. That's really shitty of you if that's the case. But I'm just gonna leave it at that.
And never would send me anything nice. That time I thought it was a romance thing, and it never would be. And then at times she tried to talk lately about sex and stuff, and I said, I'm not going there.
Okay.
I'm not in the mood, and I don't feel that way anymore. So she would try to do that to make me change the subject, I think. And I didn't feel it anymore. She'd want to say, well, let me see what you're wearing and stuff.
Cringe.
Nope, I'm not doing that no more.
Can I just point out that if you are in a relationship, perhaps, or even a talking stage, if there are moments where you do say, no, not right now, and the other person continues, just note that down, okay? That is a big red flag in my book, because no means no. Even if it is your partner, it means no. Just because you're together doesn't mean you own the other person's sexuality and whatnot. No means no. So just be wary of that in your own lives, right? Don't be gaslit, don't be manipulated, and don't let the other person use sex also on another side of things. Don't let them use intimacy as some sort of, let's sweep things under the rug. Maybe we've had some bad times or an argument or something, and I've done some very shitty things, and instead of apologizing, I'm just going to initiate some sort of intimacy. Watch out for that as well, Apologize with words, not sex. You donkey.
Carla was growing frustrated with Cheryl constantly shifting the conversation away from the $25,000 she owed. She began to question whether or not she'd ever see that money again. That's when she decided to dig a little deeper into Cheryl's background. She came across a TikTok account with more followers and posts featuring Cheryl. Carla spent some time going through the entire profile and ended up learning things about Cheryl that she had never shared before. This was something that didn't sit right with her. The more Carla looked, the more things didn't add up.
Age gap, by the way?
She's never told anybody about me. She says she told her brother who was visiting, and I don't think it was her brother. I said, look at all the men's clothes in that closet. She says, well, those are my brother's when he comes to visit. I said, all those clothes and shoes?
Look, I mean, on one hand, Cool. I mean, I get it. You're questioning things. That's a good thing, I guess. However, this could be, in my opinion, I think this could be seen as you trying to control her, right? And maybe they are just her brothers stuff. But I just mainly am saying this, in a case of if it's not a catfish and whatnot. You haven't even met this person. Let's kind of tone down the controlling aspect you've got cooking up here.
No way. But I don't know if she took him down because I said something or I kept repeatedly complaining to TikTok and reporting them
Goodness
because
me.
of the provocative pictures she posted. And you could tell you're naked up to here and you've got the sheet pulled up to here. What's the purpose of that? I don't get.
Okay, and this is an unfortunate pause because it looks like this woman is mid dump. So, I mean, you do you. I really think actually in that particular part, the controlling aspect is boiling now. You were cooking it up before, now you've left it too long, it's boiling, okay? And my blood may be starting to boil. If you are someone who doesn't like whatever it is that you see from someone that you're just communicating with, you are not in a relationship to have any sort of say, okay? And even when you're in a relationship, your say, it can only go so far, right? There's a level, there's a distinction between controlling and, I guess, having a worry and trying to advise your partner. I feel like there's a distinction. I've made the point many times before. If you are wanting to be with someone and they have certain pictures up, perhaps, or they live a certain lifestyle, they do things you don't like or whatever, you don't try and change that person because you're molding this individual to be your perfect partner rather than you both being two individuals who come together and build a life together. You're trying to change that person. That's not how a relationship should work. You come into it, they come into it. Again, it's 50-50. Or you both put in 100% rather, but in terms of, 50% of this person, 50% this person, you make 100% of a couple. You get what I'm trying to say. But don't try and change someone. If you don't like something, then either shut up, right? Because it's not your life. Or you say, maybe this person isn't right for me. I'm just going to go elsewhere. And that's totally okay as well. What Carla's doing here is giving too much controlling, especially early. You've never even met. And I'm not saying when you meet, it becomes okay, because I don't like that. But just get a grip of yourself,
And then have praise and worship on Sundays. Oh, and I found a family picture of her. I don't know. I don't know if she's married or she's got a boyfriend or she's not. I don't know. I want to know who she really is.
By the way, I think it's hilarious that you have sent all this money to someone you know nothing about. The brain is a funny thing.
And I'd like to know why she did this to me. And
Do what?
I've not responded to her.
I'm a bit
So
confused.
she's checking to see if I'm replying, and I'm not replying. My friends all said, Carla, don't talk to her. I do think Cheryl is behind this. One, because when I've been texting her and she's on her live event, she's repeating back to me, and I'm making comments about what she's saying. And she's texting me back saying, you can't believe everything you see. You don't do that. You don't let your followers know a lot about you. And I said, well, they know more about you than I do. She says she owes me nothing, when I should have had her sign something
What?
saying that I was giving her this money for this purpose, and I didn't think about it.
Hey, well, let me go backwards. I don't want to see the message right now. It's all too much for me. You're talking about IOUs. You owe me an explanation right now. Okay, you owe us an explanation. But you've already seen this episode, most likely. So, I'm confused. And that might be just me being dumb, right? Very likely. But is she angry at the scammer, or is she angry at the actual person behind Cheryl's pictures and very confused right now. Talking about live streams and whatnot. I'm really confused.
No, you're not getting anything. I don't owe you any money.
Goodness.
You're just trying to get my inheritance.
Oh,
I sent her
well,
a link for a music thing because that's part of our thing that started is that we both like this music. And when she opened it, which was very fast because I think she thought it really was a thing to locate where she was at.
wait.
And it came up with Lagos, Nigeria.
Wait, she did that herself?
I'm just confused, but I'm almost certain that she is the Capricorn Queen that I'm talking to.
I don't know who the Capricorn Queen is. How has astronomy been roped into this? You see the dog in the background? Look, look, look. They're just running. They're walking away. They've had enough. They're going into the garden. Maybe I need to go outside and touch some grass right now. I also find it hilarious that she looks like she is also mid-dump. Everyone seems to be defecating in my mouth right now. I don't understand what's going on. Are you angry at the person behind the pictures? I think at this point she is. And I think it's hilarious, again also, that the scammer asks, hey, you're just trying to get my inheritance, aren't you? A lot of times, victims, as much as they can try and swindle us, that they love the person that they are talking to, there's a little bit of greed, right? You are trying to get some of that inheritance. I got my eyes on you, Carla. All 4 of them. Right? You got glasses as well. So you can see me seeing you. Right? That makes sense.
Talking to.
After running her own IP tracker on Cheryl,
That's interesting.
Carla wants to know the truth about this person
Why is
she's
she
been
hidden?
communicating with.
If she knows how
She's
to do
reached
all
out
this.
to our team to help her come to terms.
And I think I need to go back and add up everything I've done because the last time it was 110 and she went 110 and I'm like, yeah, do you want to see all the copies?
Yeah, I want to see receipts.
I'm sure it's more now. Actually, because of all this, I took a part-time job at Walmart because I'm in debt. So
Hell.
I needed money and I'm trying to get things paid off. I want to confront her. I want to know why you did this to me. Why? And I want my money back because I know she's got money. It's obvious the way
Like
she's
she's
living,
angry at
she's
the
got
real
money.
person.
She's got more dog toys for those dogs and she has a nice bedroom set. The house looks fairly decent. I can't see everything of it.
I feel like she has like this warped world that she's living in right now where she thinks this account on TikTok is the person that she's talking to. You know, and all this money that she sent over and all these dog toys and whatnot that's being posted on the TikTok account, she thinks that's the real thing. That's the reality. My head is like exploding right now. You know, my hair's already a crazy mess. Now the inside of my skull is a crazy mess. You can stand there doing up Superwoman all you want. None of this is super for me.
I feel she's not hurting for money. And I can see that she's gained weight, so she's eating well too.
What?
It
Oh my God!
infuriates me how somebody could do this.
Honestly, some of your comments that you're making, I'm finding it hard to have sympathy. Okay, I mean, a lot of cases, I rarely have sympathy anyway. But you forked over all this money, right? And you put yourself in debt. So you can only really blame yourself for having to essentially come out of retirement. But then also, as I mentioned, these little comments, they're pissing me off, I can't lie. You know, the makeup comment, put on weight, she's eating well. What is going on? You know? Yeah, like I said in another video recently of social catfish we looked at last Saturday, the people who criticize, and we're talking about victims here, when they criticize the other person for looks, XYZ, yeah, they themselves aren't exactly bloody Vogue supermodels. You know what I mean? So let's calm down with the mean comments that we're making. Do you know what I mean?
I don't get it.
Seekers, you have to stick around until the end. We'll find out some new information that'll spiral this episode out of control.
She's been stalking me. I've already filed a police report.
Oh, I mean,
my-
yeah, we saw that earlier.
Oh my
yeah.
god, I had no idea.
And we'll connect Carla and the
Crazy.
real woman in these images face to face for the first time.
And I've mentioned this before as well. I feel for the people in the images, the real people. I know they're not really discussed much in the actual episodes themselves. You know, we get the usual, yeah, this person isn't involved, they're not a part of this XYZ. But a lot of the times, you could argue they're the actual victims in this, or at the very least, they are also an additional victim to the catfish victim, loosely. You know, depends on the catfish victim. If they are a piece of shit, then sorry, you're not a victim. But we need to start talking more about them. And again, this is why I don't like meeting face to face or video call victim, real person behind the pictures, because you get weirdos, right? But in this case, Carla's being a weirdo from the get-go. So I can say just be safe out there as much as possible. But unfortunately, especially if Cheryl is a content creator and she's putting stuff out there in public anyway, you just gotta be careful.
The harassing and the stalking and all of that, that has to stop.
Facts.
If you like this video,
What the hell?
please consider subscribing. And once you've done that, give this video a like too.
Go do that. But I also wanted to pause it there to say that whilst I understand, you know, Carla would be frustrated or angry in this fantasy world she's cooked up, right? That doesn't mean you go and stalk people, bro. Like, even if this was a real case, Cheryl was actually doing whatever she's doing, yeah? She stole money or something, gave it to her, so, you know, put an asterisk on that. You don't go stalking people, okay? Do you want a criminal record or something? If you really, really wanted to straighten things out, you'd get authorities involved. See if they can actually help you. You don't become a vigilante, Batman style, start interrogating things.
Have you been communicating with someone online,
No.
but something just doesn't feel right? You're not
right now.
alone. And we're here to help. Our expert search specialist can investigate your case and help you uncover the truth.
Cheers.
And don't worry, this is completely private and confidential and is separate from our YouTube channel. Submitting your case does not mean it will be featured on our YouTube. If you need answers,
YouTube.
click the link in this episode's description to submit your case now. We're here to help you get the clarity you deserve. After reviewing Carla's case, the team sat down to go over a game plan to try to figure out how to help her out.
I mean,
So is this a scam or is this like a real person?
just want to point out that the team in numbers on screen are whittling down. You know, we used to have so many people. Virginia, Bree, Chris, I think his name was, Brutus, right? Sheridan, I think the other guy's name was, and Brutus wasn't his actual name, but, you know, I just call him Brutus. Drew, where the hell is Drew, I must add? And now there's two musketeers, you know?
That's what we're trying to figure out. So Carla shared accounts, which she claims is owned by this person, Cheryl, that she's talking to online. However, she thinks that the person that she's talking to, which is Cheryl, has created all these different profiles and is basically using these to scam other people.
So what other research do we have?
So basically, Carla has a friend that created this IP tracker,
Right.
sent it to
How'd they do
Cheryl,
that?
they clicked it, and supposedly they're located in Lagos.
I want to learn how to do that.
So she knows it's a scam.
Well, that's the thing. She doesn't fully believe that this person is from Lagos. That's why she came to us. She wants to confirm it. So another thing is we have tons and tons of images of her. I can't find a match. I can't confirm that this person is Cheryl.
Sorry.
The other
What am I looking at here? Where are her fingers gone on that hand? Huh? What's happened there? She's become like her hand has physically morphed into Jabba the Hutt or something. What's gone on with her hand? I have to believe that's AI or something. Something's gone very horribly wrong there. Goodness me.
The other part of this is I really want to help Carla because she's super desperate for answers. She's been arguing with these other profiles on social media, and I just think she's really lonely, but it's also consuming her. It's taking over her life.
Yeah.
So look, sounds like we have to get to work right away. Let's uncover the facts so we can put her mind at rest.
All right, sounds like a
David
plan.
seems tired.
Now that the team had a lead on how to get a hold of the real woman in these images, the next day, Brienne decided to give her a call.
They just found her number?
Who is this?
Oh,
Hi, this is Brienne.
yeah, where are you from?
Okay, what can I do for
You know
you?
what I mean? Like,
Hi, is this...
bro,
How did you get my information? Who is this?
Okay, so my name's Brienne.
can I mean, Bree does this a lot, right? Where even in person, she'll knock on a door or something. She will not say who she is until like way later. You've kind of already created tension. Like if I answer the phone, who is this? You just give me a name. Yeah, that's great, mate. Who are you? Like, it's just something of mine that I wish Bree would just say right from the get-go. Hello, my name is Bree. I'm from XYZ. I'm looking for you because XYZ. Like, it's nothing major, but it might help in cases where, you know, you can ease the tension of a phone call or something. But it's just my opinion.
I work for a company by the name of socialcatfish.com. I sent you the link so you can look me up. So me and my husband, we both own this company. We're an online investigation company. And we had a client reach out to us recently, and she's under the belief that she's in a relationship with you.
Yeah, I know, and she's been stalking me. I've already filed a police report
Oh
on
my-
her and everything. I've told her many times, because I'm a content creator. I go live on TikTok and other platforms.
Right.
This woman has harassed me for months.
Oh
And has
no.
followed me around and has tried to tarnish my name, telling everybody I romanced, scammed her, and all kinds of stuff. So I have told this lady, it's not me. You're being scammed with my picture by somebody.
I will say, maybe there's positive lining here. You're getting content out of it, though, right? You make a video. Oh, you know, I scammed someone? Question mark. You know, content.
It's very common on social media. I
Correct.
said stop talking to them immediately
Yes.
and do not have any more communication with them. But she kept talking to them, thinking it was me and that I was lying to her and taking her money. And I was like, lady, look, and even my friends, she's been in my friends' inboxes trying to tell my friends that how I stole all her money and stuff.
Yeah.
So my friends have told her, look, you've got the wrong person. I do praise and worship on Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
I don't scam people.
We're talking about Carla here, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
okay. I
yes.
just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I had no clue she actually was reaching out to you.
Yeah, she's freaking stalking me. I said, look, whoever this is that you're talking to is not me, lady. I said, I mean, I even tried to befriend her at first because I felt bad for her because, you know, I used to work in loss prevention and dealt with a lot of scamming and all that stuff. So I'm very aware of it. And I told her as soon as she told me what they told her about getting some kind of inheritance and they'd pay her back and all of these things, I said, ma'am, you're being scammed.
You know, I told her right off the bat.
She doesn't have my personal information, does she? Like you do?
No, and I would not give it to her. This is specifically for me. You know, I'm really good at finding online information. So this phone number will not be passed to Carla.
Okay, thank you.
We have to reveal the information, our findings from our online investigation. Would you be interested in joining us in confronting Carla and just once and for all putting this to rest?
I mean, if I have to, yeah.
Once and for all is some bad foreshadowing, huh? Because I don't think this will be a case of once and for all, it's stopped now.
I mean, I've told her many times, and I don't know why she doesn't believe me, you know what I'm saying? And just understands that I'm not that person. They're using my photo. I can't help what they take and screenshot off of social media, you know what I'm saying? And she was in all of my posts, like every single post, she was telling me
engagement
that, or telling people, this person romance scammed me, this person is not a Christian, she poses to be a Christian, but she's a really bad person. And it was like she was working with whoever was scamming her.
I see that. Okay.
To ruin me.
So we want to bring this clarity to Carla so that she actually understands what's happening, and that you're not behind it. There's a scammer creating a fake profile, reaching out to Carla and whoever else. And then we also want to see how we can help you out and get these fake accounts taken down.
Yeah, absolutely.
probably
All
a
right,
lot
Seekers,
though, innit?
things just took a major turn. After connecting with the real woman in these photos, she confirmed that the profile, One True Queen, is her actual Instagram account. Now, as far as the profile that originally contacted Carla, well, that was fake. With this revelation, there was only one move left to make. We set up one final call with Carla to help her face the truth.
Sorry, I just need to say this because of one move is all it takes. Falling in love with me. Even though it's Kiss, but I've remixed it because of what Drew said. One move is all it takes. Falling in love with me. Now you're stalking me. I said leave me alone, please. Smile all you want. None of this is funny. Okay, with your Jeffrey Dahmer-esque glasses.
Hi, Carla. How are you?
Hi, Carla.
I'm good. I'm anxious to hear.
This is David, by the way.
Yeah, nice to meet you for the first time.
I mean, you just mentioned you're feeling anxious. What are you most anxious about?
What you guys are going to tell me, my mind goes everywhere, let me tell you. I mean, because everybody talks about these people in Africa and Ghana and stuff that are scammers and stuff, and I think, no. I just feel it's her.
Let's talk about the replies, the comments, the messaging. You created multiple accounts, correct?
For TikTok, I made up 2 men so I could see her live events, which that didn't work.
You're catfishing.
It didn't work at all.
So you did the same thing that's, okay.
Literally, yeah.
Well, I wanted her to think it was male and stuff, but then she saw he didn't have any followers and he wasn't following anywhere, and off he went.
Yeah.
So why did you feel the need to create a bunch of fake profiles?
Because she blocked me.
It seems like a toxic relationship.
What
It
relationship?
started out great and stuff, and I asked her why, were you so nice in the beginning and everything, and I said, then you turned so mean. And she says, well, I apologize. I mean, she's apologizing right now.
The conversations are super toxic. You guys are calling each other names. You're constantly angry. You can see the anger in the chats. This person's got nasty with you. I mean, how did it get this far?
Because of the money. And I think she kept saying she'd give it to me. Then she says she doesn't owe me anything. We can't seem to reach an agreement and stop things. And she says, well, I even stopped my live events and stuff. And I said, no, you're doing one this weekend. She did one last weekend when she was starving for 7 days. I mean, come on.
Are you serious?
So I think the thing we're trying to tell you is that you're not talking to the person you think you're talking to.
Really?
I mean, who do you think you're talking to?
The Capricorn Queen. That's who I thought. I thought that was her site.
Are you okay, Carla?
I mean, I feel so stupid. Okay, let's continue on.
We actually had a really difficult time initially trying to find the person in the photos that you were talking to. And so we finally were able to find some relatives, find out where this person lives. And off of that, Brianna was able to find out
where she lives.
Reese, to actually locate her, and Brianna called her.
You're shitting me.
I'm not shitting you.
Oh my God.
I'm shitting myself.
So after Brianna talked to her, we were actually surprised that you had actually reached out and actually spoke to her.
I didn't talk with her.
You had messaged her on one of the accounts and then the fake accounts you created. What did she tell you when she talked to you?
I didn't talk to her. I didn't expect you to be sat there having a conversation about your golden retrievers. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's filing because you're, filing police reports because you're stalking her. I don't expect you to have a full-on conversation, bloody hell.
My God, I have no idea, David. I really don't remember that.
So something you need to know, Carla, is that Reese is the owner of the One True Queen TikTok and Instagram. Those are her accounts. She validated that with me.
The real owner.
Wow.
So Carla, you're talking to somebody who stole her images and her likeness.
So how come I'm seeing that website then? At One True Capricorn
Are you
Queen?
talking about the main one, the one on TikTok?
Yeah.
That's hers.
That's Reese's?
Yes.
And the scammer.
And that's her?
Yes.
That's her in the pictures?
Yes.
You guys are blowing me away.
The scammer that you're talking to, Carla, is telling you that that's their account. So that's why you're getting so confused, because you're talking to the scammer on Snapchat, right?
Yep.
Hurry, what?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
You're going to TikTok and you're seeing a different person.
You're seeing
on
the
TikTok.
real person and you're talking to her and she doesn't know what you're talking about.
You can't just drop Snapchat on me like that towards the bloody end. What's going on here, guys? Can we just, I don't want to obviously shit on people for using Snapchat, because you do you in it. At the end of the day, I'm a rat boy in a chair. You do you. But I'm sorry, as a grown adult, yeah, if you're speaking to someone who you claim to be in a relationship with, yeah, on Snapchat, something's wrong here. I'm really sorry if I'm bursting any bubbles here again. It's just my opinion. Get the hell off of Snapchat. You're not freaking a teenager. You know what I mean? So that's very strange behavior, but okay, if we think that's normal, then carry on.
And she would never send me any pictures except for the ones she's taken off that site.
Because they're stolen. They're stealing those pictures, that's why.
You guys have just blown me away.
We have another surprise for you, I think, to shut this door, okay?
Lock it as well.
Okay. I'm just, my head's spinning.
It'll be okay, Carla, I promise.
Okay.
We have Reese for you.
Reese decided to join.
And she's going to jump on right now.
Oh, you're kidding.
How are y'all?
Hey,
Hi, Reese,
Reese.
how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, nice to
Good,
meet
you look great.
Well, thank you.
We just revealed everything to Carla. We let her know that this is your TikTok account, your Instagram account, and she was under the impression that you were behind this.
I tried to tell her many times that it wasn't me and that it was somebody using my picture. I told her to stop communicating with them, and I tried to tell Carla it wasn't me. At least I think that was Carla that I tried to tell. Whoever's doing this to you, Carla, probably doesn't like me very much for whatever reason. And they're using my picture to try to tarnish my name.
Let's, put an asterisk on that, because if it is just a regular, schmegular scammer, then they probably don't know anything about you, and they've just taken your pictures, your likeness, because you do have an active profile that's posting things. So I guess it just makes it easier to pull stuff off from there and pretend, obviously, use them. So I wouldn't say it's someone that doesn't really like you, but if that makes you feel better.
To scam you, which is very unfortunate, and I hate that for you and I hate it for me. But the harassing and the stalking and all of that, I understand that you're trying to figure out what's going on, but that has to stop.
Yeah,
because
I said the
it's
same.
not me. I promise you it's not me.
Well, did you send those two gals that follow you after me? That came to me and was nasty on TikTok?
Nobody was nasty to you. No, the only person that came to you was my friend Maddie. and she was telling you that it wasn't me. She wasn't being nasty to you. And we just wanted you to stop doing what you were doing because we already told you it wasn't me, but you insisted that it was. And then you went around on all my posts trying to tell everybody I was a scammer. And I'm not.
Well, that's what I thought. I'm
Or
sorry, but
I'm,
that's what I thought.
Oh,
well, I tried to tell you, honey, it wasn't me. And I told you to quit talking to those people.
I think this is a good, you know, thing to mention here. When you think something, hold off maybe before saying it, right? Especially if it does concern essentially trying to tear someone down, and if it concerns, this could be classed as defamation. You know what I mean? So before you go spewing out nonsense, and maybe I'm looking at every single one of the people who for some reason really don't like me and keep coming back to these videos, leaving hateful comments. Maybe just think about what it is that you don't like, hold on to it, right? Sit back, relax, and move on with your life before, you do something that ultimately gets you in trouble. I'm just saying. So it's a good lesson. Think about things. If you're angry, cool, I get it. You got that urge. I'm gonna lash out. I'm gonna type this. I'm gonna feel better about myself once I type it out. But it doesn't work like that. Take a chill pill, right? Get a grip.
I knew they were scamming you, and I hated that for you. It sucks. It really does. And I hope that you guys catch whoever's doing this.
This has
I
impacted
hope.
Reese in another way. So it's impacted you, Carla, but it's also been impacting Reese at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, I've called and made a police report just in case something happened to me because I mean, it's insane. I've been trolled and bullied on social media so bad that I block everybody. If anybody comes at me with negativity, I block them. I'm
Right.
just not
Why do you
dealing with
keep
it
doing it?
anymore.
Then why do you keep doing your site?
Because the only thing I do now is praise and worship on Sunday, Carla.
Hold on a second. Carla is like really frustrating me. Now it seems like she's literally going at the person behind the pictures for even having a profile. Like, what are you? I get it. Look, you could argue she's confused, she's angry, whatever, and not really thinking clearly. But as I said, if you're not thinking clearly, stop trying to attack people. Then, take a step back, think about what you're gonna say before you say it. Bloody, I might need to take Reese's advice, man. I've never hid anyone other than bots on this channel, right? But the people, if you've seen them anyway, right? If the people who keep coming back leaving nasty comments, such as one individual, right, who said that I'm not even Turkish because I'm from Cyprus. Look, maybe go on Google, yeah, and do some research because there are Turkish Cypriots. Like, I can't believe. I know I'm going a bit off topic here, but I have to get that off my chest because I don't want to make a whole video addressing this person's comments because there's too many of them, and I don't want to give them more spotlight because they'll cry about it or something. In case it was in question, I am Turkish, guys. Just because I'm from Cyprus, it doesn't mean I'm not Turkish. My goodness. So I might have to start blocking people because it's getting to a point where really pissing me off. But I feel Reese on that aspect. And on Carla's aspect, stop coming at Reese. Stop it.
I've stopped going live because of all the hate on these social media apps. It's pushed me closer to God and it's made me want to stay away from all of it because, in my opinion, social media is the devil's playground.
Yeah, and I said a lot of nasty things to her about your site. So, because I thought it was hers.
And at the same time, this scammer's been messing with your head, Carla, making you believe that it was Reese.
I'm not hiding anything. I'm just trying to stay away from the negativity just like you are, you know? And these people, they're sick in the head. All they care about is using people and taking money from them.
And I'm sorry because I've been blaming you.
That's what they wanted you to do. They wanted you to go crazy after me and stuff like that.
Well, if I did anything to hurt you, I'm sorry.
Well, you did.
I accept your apology and I will be praying for you, Miss Carla. I hope they find who did this. I really do.
But she does seem remorseful, I
I
guess.
have to run, guys. I've got dinner on the stove and
What
it's
you-
probably burning, but I
What are you
really hope
cooking?
you guys help her get this resolved and she finds peace.
Thank you. Thank you, Reese. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you coming here, and we wish you all the best.
Wow.
She seems
How do you
remorseful.
feel, Carla?
It's like I'm in a different world. It's like,
I mean, you see now that Reese has nothing to hide.
She jumped on video chat like that.
yeah, I see that. I see that.
I mean, regardless if this was real or not, it's so toxic. And so it's probably time to block this person,
course.
right?
Oh, yes, I did that. I told Brianna the other day that I did because I just couldn't take it anymore.
I will say, to echo David, as I always say, a lot of times these relationships, in quotations, big quotations, by the way, they are not loving, right? There never is any affection, right? We can see it, but the people in them seemingly cannot. But I do hope everyone, you're being catfished or not, right? But if we're talking real life, you are in an abusive relationship, be it verbally or even financially, right? Please, I hope you can recognize the abuse, even if it is words, right? Words can be abusive. So I hope you can get some professional support, if need be, to help you leave that, again, quote unquote, relationship, but escape that person, essentially. So I hope people can recognize that before it's too late and something tragic happens. And on the case of her seeming remorseful, I feel like she is, but at the same time, too late. You know what I mean? You've done the stalking, you've done the harassment online. So I don't know, me personally, for example, if someone was to do that to me, you can apologize. I'm not sure I'd forgive you. Like, I'm just gonna be truthful, okay? A lot, for example, Reese here, bigger person than me. I probably wouldn't forgive you. But let me know your thoughts.
The last part of this equation, like, let's have you run your credit. We'll help you. We'll walk you through freezing your credit, okay?
Should probably also change all your passwords.
Wow.
Gave passwords.
Wow. You guys are absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I'm just in shock, to be honest. So I wish we could nail the person.
I know.
Well.
Because I just knew it was her. I knew she was in Arkansas.
But you
But
keep
she's
saying
not behind it, so
Yeah,
you know that.
she's
now.
not.
keep saying
You gave me a closure.
Good.
Good.
That makes me feel better in that respect. That I didn't really lose a relationship per se. It was never there. So
I guess.
Thanks for trusting us through
Yeah,
that
But you
this
did hurt
process.
a real
thank you
person.
so much, guys.
Point out, disclaimer, of course. By the way, I think it's interesting. Even in this episode, other than that,
Seekers, it's almost time for our weekly live stream.
obviously go check that out. I do want to point out the apology, because she said if I did anything. Does that really count as an apology? Maybe I've misconstrued her crying as seeming remorseful, but let me know your thoughts. I feel like when people use if in an apology, they're not really taking accountability. Right? Sorry if I did this. If, it did happen if the other person is upset. You know what I mean? And I know there are cases where maybe the other person has seen it in the wrong light. Maybe you've said something that you didn't mean in a hurtful way, but it came across in a hurtful way. You can still apologize for that, and I think you should. Right? You don't need to say, if I hurt you, sorry. Sorry, I came across that way. I didn't really mean it that way. Right? That kind of vibe. Word it better. But I guess that can only be done if you truly are sorry. You know? So, hopefully you guys were not as confused as me, but I think I got it towards the end. I really think she needs maybe some therapy, because she got very attached, and I would say her attachment was the detrimental kind of attachment. It's not the case of, being cute, clingy stuff. Your partner obsesses over you, but not too much. I need to clarify that. But your partner, quotations, obsesses over you and wants to know everything about you, but then she took it too far. Her attachment caused her to be controlling, mean, to be honest. And even if this was a real scenario and it wasn't a catfish, I'd actually be concerned on the other end, because the things Carla was saying, just not nice to hear if you were the partner, And then obviously the attachment went as far as stalking, and she's lucky. I don't know if she has criminal record, if a police file or if something is filed against you like that. So let me know in the comments. But she's lucky, I would say. I'm now going to go over to the original video. We'll share some topics. What? You know what we'll do. We'll talk about things, read the comments, see what people are saying. We'll discuss some things. But that's going to come tomorrow for me, because I'm going to go to bed right now. But you are going to see it in a jiffy. Good morning. Or good afternoon/evening, wherever you are watching this in the world. I will not tolerate any comments about my hair. It's doing its own thing this morning. But Carla was doing her own thing. There's no real relevance there. Maybe the fact that this is a mess. The whole story was a mess. We're gonna get into the tantalizing talk section. Let's first start off with Olivia saying she never really considered the fact that the scammer was using someone else's photos. I'm not really sure, to be honest. At some points I got the feeling that she understood that scams exist, right? And then on the other hand, maybe she just wanted it to be real so much. However, I mainly picked this comment out because two of the replies to this comment, I'll put them on the screen right now. So I'm not reading every single word. So if you want to pause it and check it out, the gist of them is that it's the older generation. So XYZ, can't fault them or something like that. I see this too many times. I don't think we can just simply attribute being scammed to older generation, because younger generations also get scammed. Maybe it's not as prevalent in media, but it happens. So let's get a grip of ourselves, okay? I understand these individuals who do say these things maybe are sticking up for the older generation by saying this. However, I have to sort of interject and just remind everyone that she got an IP tracker done. Maybe I think it was her friend or something, but it was done. So what's the excuse then? I'm a bit confused, right? You found out the location was located in a different country, but you still think it's this person here in the US, blah, blah, blah. I don't think you can attribute that to age. I think that's just foolishness. So let me know your thoughts. It's very interesting, but let me know. The next comment raises a good point, and I didn't really consider that at the time. The weird thing is, she is clearly a lesbian. She wants a lesbian relationship, but she knew she was talking to someone who wasn't a lesbian. And then she sent the Nigerian man £124,000. No one to blame but herself. It was actually in dollars. But if anyone wants to send £124,000 to me, I'd gladly accept. To be honest, I'd gladly accept in any currency. So just send whatever you got to me. I will give you nice messages in return. I didn't, again, consider what was being said at that point. I think maybe, this is just opinions, is it the classic case of I can, like, change someone? Very creepy, huh? And, you know, we also see it in other circumstances, such as people thinking they can change the other person's behavior. Oh, they do X, Y, Z, I'm not really a fan of it, so I'm going to try and get them changed. Which I think I mentioned in the commentary. You can't change people, okay? So, it's creepy behavior, right? I'm not really sure what she was looking for. I think in the commentary I asked, is this romantic? Or is this a relationship at some point? So maybe subconsciously I was thinking about it. But I was confused a lot of times in this episode, I'm not going to lie. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Was she just trying to change Cheryl?
What did that just mean?
If she was, and I'm just going to give generalized thoughts here, stop trying to change people. You know who they are. If they want to change, they would change themselves anyway, right? And go about your life looking for someone who fits you as they are. Stop trying to change people, okay? And also, when I say if they wanted to, they would change, I'm talking about things such as, you know, the cliche, oh, I don't like my partner going out clubbing. Yeah, but you knew they were clubbing beforehand, so get a grip of yourself. But before we move on, I picked out a comment, again, in reply to that comment. She needs to get a man. I don't understand, honestly. This comes from someone by the name of Charlotte as well. I'm not sure if Charlotte has something against homosexuality, but, you know, what's a man going to do in this instance? Do you know what I mean? Will that help her to not get scammed? Will that help her to not be such a mean-spirited individual? Like, honestly, what are we doing here? Well, what is the original section or comment section coming to, bro? It's been a while now that there are, you know, nonsense comments in there, sure. But, like, now there's, and I say now, but again, it's been a while. There are comments that are bigoted, just plain, you sit there like, what do you think like this? Like, on a daily basis, is it? She needs to get a man, as if the man would do anything. You know what I mean? What about the other victims who are chasing men? What about them? Well, what's the reasoning for them then? Why are they getting scammed? How can they be helped? In quotes, you need something, you need to get a grip. How about that? Forget someone needing a man, you need to get a grip. So, whoever this individual is, get help. The next comment is, again, touching on Carla's mean-spiritedness. Reported her to TikTok for provocative photos, not just petty, but miserable and gross, creep. You know, with this logic, you would think Carla is going around every single profile in the world, doing up some sort of vigilante, right? I am the photo vigilante. Is she doing that? No, probably not, right? But she's become fixated, very dangerously fixated on this one individual, and is doing up, again, not only petty things, it's just miserable, right? And I mentioned it in the commentary, from what I can remember anyway, that she reminds me of the trolls on this channel, right? They don't take a look at themselves in the mirror. They don't take any accountability for themselves. If they are angry at you, and in this context, when they're angry at me, for whatever reason, they've spun up some kind of nonsense and they're just spewing it to make themselves feel better. So that's what Carla was doing. I guess reporting her for these pictures and stuff are making her feel better. But I don't really know how that would make you feel better. But then I asked the question, how do the dipshits who comment mean things about me, how does it make you feel better? It's a great question. You're projecting. And again, in Carla's case, I don't understand what her photos are pissing you off about, right? She did use the phrase of, it's not very Christian-like and whatnot. But I think I picked out a comment regarding that in this TT section, so I won't talk too much about that just yet. But if this person is posting whatever they are posting, again, why are you trying to change them? I expect her to do the same on every other person who posts a little bit risque photos, maybe it's some cleavage here and there. Which, by the way, here's a question. Is simply having some cleavage in a photo, is that provocative? Do you know what I mean? I understand, maybe she was more talking about the one where she's seemingly naked with the covers up but get a grip of yourself. Do you know what I mean? You have probably seen worse in your lifetime. You've seen naked individuals, I'm assuming. So let's calm down, all right? The next comment I think I touched on as well with the whole car situation. I'm totally broke, but I do have several cars stored in another country. I mean, as you do, right? Sell your cars, Cheryl, huh? If we were being logical about this all, you would tell her, I don't have money for this, sell your cars. The next comment highlights a very sad factor about life. To be honest, a lot of people do this anyway. It only took a little of sweet talking to go from I'm not paying for the $300 flight to sending $124,000. It is sad. Obviously, the victims do display a lot of this. But also, I always like to dish out some sort of relationship advice because, I'm no guru or anything, but I just want to get it off my chest because I've experienced it before. Do not let someone do whatever it is they're gonna do and essentially treat you like shit because they sweet talk a little, right? Don't be quick to sweep things under the rug because they've whispered sweet nothings, because most of the time it's just sweet nothings, okay? When I was being cheated on, there was a lot of red flags, and I just moved past them because I was being told that, they loved me very much, blah, blah, blah. You know the vibes. Don't let someone do that, okay? And in more unfortunate circumstances, in abusive relationships, for example, which, by the way, it was touched on that Carla and Cheryl's relationship was toxic, but I think it's abusive as well, verbally, financially, and verbally on Carla's part as well. I don't think we should sweep that under the rug. Yes, Cheryl was being a shitty person, but so was Carla with all her comments about makeup, weight, etc. It's verbally abusive on her part as well. But in cases of you, for example, physical, abusive, verbal, financial, please, it can be hard, as I mentioned in the commentary. It is difficult to see that side of things if you are the one being abused, because most of the time you're being gaslit into thinking that this person does love me because they do say nice things from time to time, or they do nice things from time to time. But a lot of the times it's just covering up for the fact that they are a horrible piece of shit, right? So I would hope, again, it's not easy. If you need professional support, definitely seek it. But I would hope everyone watch out for that and recognize that it can happen to you. It can happen to anyone. And I hope you are able to escape that individual. And it sucks, you know? It is sad, I have to say, like, escape that individual, because in an ideal world, you know, people who are together would just cherish each other, and, you know, that's the end of it. But unfortunately, you know, people are sacks of shit. They get into relationships knowing that they're sacks of shit. You know, they don't address any of their issues, and then they dish out all sorts to the other person, and then frickin' make them forced to stay and stuff, have the audacity to say that they love them. And alright, we're just gonna move on to the final comment because I'm getting heated. And then lastly, I did see a few of these comments, and man, I'm glad to have seen them, because I was worried maybe it's just me, right? Maybe I was being too harsh on her apology. If I did anything to hurt you is one of the lamest apologies / non-apologies I've ever heard. That's a favorite line of abusers trying to take the responsibility off the abuser and put it on to the victim. And I think I mentioned that if, you know, we're not taking accountability here. If I did, yes, you did it. The other person is upset, so you did it, mate. You did something, right? And I think I gave the example of you can word it better, right? If you are confused, sure, right? Maybe you don't think you did something wrong because you said something that you don't necessarily think is wrong or whatever, right? You still should apologize for saying what you said and apologize for the misunderstanding. And when I say apologize for the misunderstanding, you don't say, I apologize for the misunderstanding, because that still kind of takes the blame off of you, because, they've misunderstood, right? You should apologize and say, sorry, I hurt you. That's it. Like, that's it. It's too early for this, but hopefully all of that makes sense. Just, you know, take some accountability, please. But I guess if it doesn't come natural to you, can you do that? So we're done here. Carla, you know, your crocodile tears, I think is the phrase, will not sway me. Although it kind of did, you know, there were points where I was like, oh, this is genuine, I guess. She seems remorseful. But then I took a step back and I realized, no, actually it's not. But that could just be me. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. And I will see you next time. And since we're here, most likely you are here and you do support a lot of the videos and stuff. So thank you, right? Thank you for supporting the channel. But if you are here, you're more likely to give a shit about what I'm going to say. So thank you to everyone who has joined the membership. I didn't expect that many people to join on the first day of finding out. And if you are finding out for the first time, memberships are now a thing on this channel. It obviously took a long time for me to even consider opening them, because it's a big step, right? But also, I don't want you guys to do that, right? supporting the videos by watching them is more than enough, but a lot of people were asking for them, so I figured after very many months of deliberation, let's just open it. You know, we won't go too crazy or anything. We'll open it. But if anyone has any thoughts, like, you know, if you want to see members only videos and stuff like that, let me know in the comments. I don't think I will do like members only commentary videos and stuff, because I don't want obviously anyone to miss out on the videos if they are requested, and if a lot of people do want them. They'll probably just be like personal stuff or personal commentaries. If you guys know of Jada Hope, she's cool. She does like catfish stuff as well. She does like, you know, sneak peek type members only videos, or she's talking about things that probably are not YouTube things. You know, basically videos that won't probably do well statistically, right? Just personal things, you know, ranting about stuff. Does that make sense? So let me know. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you again for everyone for your support. It really means a lot. And by the way, there's no pressure to sign up to the membership. It's just there if you do want to do that. And if you would rather drop a super thanks, as people sometimes do, then you do that, you know, when you're able to, if you want to, you know, you choose, basically. See you guys next time. Bye. But, you know, if I say I've got many cars that need cargoing, can someone send me that much money?